Hi, Dolly friends. Welcome back to Maryland's Dolly Land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, I don't know what happened with my lighting. I've been fussing with it since like 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's I just I don't know, it's just not coming out right for some reason tonight. So, I didn't want to wait and I don't want to not do the video. So, here we are, and I hope to edit it. I don't always like editing, but I'm gonna have to this time. But so we're doing. First, we're starting with uh, peeka, and we're also doing a temu Tuesday because I wanted it to do it this past Wednesday, and peeka first day back to school. Um, So 2 weeks ago, I had bronchitis and I was really sick, like sick as a dog. And I went to the pulmonary doctor. He gave me antibiotics, inhalers, medications. And I kind of like bounced back last week. And last weekend in my personal life, I really overdid it way over the top, way too much. And by Monday, this past Monday, I couldn't do anything. My back went out, and the bronchitis started acting up again a little bit. Not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago, but it started acting up. And I kept trying to do videos since this past Wednesday, and all I could do was sleep, eat, take a bath, feed my cats, cook very light, and I did no cleaning, and watch videos. I like slept the whole week. I guess my body just needed a rest. I did a lot of cleaning this summer, a lot of preparation for renovation. I I don't know, guys. I'm thinking of painting my most of my apartment pink and purple. I'm thinking about it. I want to paint this wall behind me either like a charcoal light gray. When charcoal burns on the barbecue, it has that light gray color, like that, or an interesting purple with pink walls in the rest of the living room. I don't know. I'm just in. I always wanted it like an outrageous design in my apartment, and I'm just thinking about it because I'm getting to the point where I have to paint because that's the next part of my project from the summer of my renovation because it started 2 3 years ago. Then I had so many times where I had to stop for months and months because of my spine and all this crap and. So I guess I just needed a good rest, and I'm feeling back to normal again today. So here we are. I am a late night filmer. I I'm not a daytime filmer. Most of the times I'm not, or I'm an early morning filmer. So I'm gonna, I hope to do all my box opening videos tonight. Why not? It's a holiday weekend. It's a holiday. It's not a regular Sunday, so that gives me a little excuse. Guys, so we're going to start with the Temu haul because if you remember, 2 weeks ago I got that beautiful bigger Maddie doll, and I really had nothing to put her in. And my friend Debbie donated me a couple of outfits and stuff, clothes, and the clothes will also be good for my pickle baby too, because she's also a big baby. So she donated me like a ton of baby hangers, which I could definitely use. So that's awesome, and I really appreciate that. And this gorgeous little blanket. It has dark and light pink and blue flowers on it, and it's so soft and nice. It's very pretty. And she gave me just beautiful stuff. Some leggings And some of this, not the gray one, but the pink one has the ruffle bum bum on it, which I love. And then we got the peach and light pink, and here's more ruffle bum bum. And some nice winter socks. These are adorable. Yeah, it was very generous and kind of my friend. She saw the bigger Maddie on Instagram and she donated me good stuff. Some of you asked about her size. She's 6 to 9 months. But I like have, smaller clothes. So she gave me this gray onesie and it comes with, which is great. These match the leggings. This peachy apricot one and the light pink one, and they'll be good with the leggings too. Perfect for the fall and winter. And we got some short sleeve onesies, which also are going to match while it's warm. We got the white, the pink, and the purple. It's like a lavender. And then she gave me, all from Temu, these adorable sleepers. This has, it's all floral. And this one has pink swans and little brown bunnies on it. Very cute. Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful clothing. And she gave me, here's another onesie. It has little cute roosters on it. And here's a nice long sleeve top. Guys, I love girly girl clothes. I had 2 boys and I loved having my 2 sons. Because when you have real kids and you have boys and they're teenagers, like you're really happy you're not spending money on designer jeans and Victoria's Secret, undergarments and rollers and hot irons and shoes and, all this stuff, because that can get like a lot of money. Even though I was sad I did not have a real daughter, but I have my dolly daughters and it's a lot of fun, to have this girly stuff. Look at these ruffly socks, pink and white ruffle. I love the ruffle. And this one has the pink bow. So I love all this stuff. And yeah, so she donated me everything. Thank you to Debbie for the donation. And it's going to also work for 2 babies, not just one. It'll work for the bigger Maddie and the Pinkle baby. So I'm going to put this back in the bag, guys. And I decided, just bear with me, I decided to name Happy Hungry Baby Alive that my aunt got me from eBay. We're going to name her Rainbow Aubrey. Rainbow Aubrey. Even though I have Rainbow Bright, it's still nice. I like the name Rainbow and Aubrey, excuse me. And yeah, so we're going to name her that. She's wearing this to bed. They've been trying on a couple outfits because she's going to go to preschool with her sissy here, Esther. And Esther it says, Auntie is the zest. She's trying to say happy birthday, Auntie Jessica, and happy birthday weekend to Auntie Jessica. It was her birthday. We're giving Jessica Homestead, her channel, a big loving shout out. Go check her out if you haven't already, with all her beautiful and adorable babies. And she does the peeka theme and the Temu Tuesday. So I'm going to do the tag for first day of school. And I already read it to the little ones and they laughed and they giggled. So first day of school. What was your favorite subject in school? Mine was history. It's still my favorite subject to this day. I watch a lot of documentary on history. I absolutely love history. Or, I just like history. I hated everything else in school, but we'll get to that as we do the tag. Okay. Number two, what did you like and dislike about school? I had a lot of friends when I was in school, especially from like third grade and up, fourth grade and up. I had a lot of friends. I liked hanging with my buddies, my friends. What did I dislike about school? I hated going. I hated going to school. I always played sick. I used to put warm water on my forehead, sneak in the bathroom at 6 a.m. in the morning, and so it was like so it would feel feverish. And I'd tell my grandpa how sick I was, and then at 3 o'clock I'd tell him I feel better and I want to go out to the park and play with my friends. you know, and I just did not like school, guys. Um, I mentioned my friend Lori, and she's the one I copied cleaning with bleach. And her and I have to share this story. We thought we were slick in fifth or sixth grade. The SAT test in the beginning of the year, I said to her, let's just circle any answer and not read any of the questions. And her and I did that. I think it was the beginning of sixth grade. Well, when my grandfather saw that, the report from it, he knew I just didn't do it. Okay? He knew I was being a smart aleck, and he knew I just circled any answer. Okay? He was pretty intelligent. And he started saying to me, when you grow up, just get married, Marilyn. I really hated school, guys. Unfortunately. Number three, did you like art or music? I liked both. I did enjoy both art and music. I did, because I'm more of a creative soul. I'm more like of a creative soul. So I liked both. Number four, social studies or science. Well, I already said I liked history, which is social studies. I thought science, excuse me, guys, I thought science was interesting, but I refused in seventh grade. I did not dissect the frog. I had a letter sent to the school that I'm not touching that frog. I just couldn't do it, guys. I can't, that's something I was not going to be a part of, and I wasn't. Number five, what class was your graduation? 1990. 1990, my goodness. It seems like so ancient ago. Number six, what was your favorite teacher? Back to sixth grade, one of my favorite teachers was Mr. Farah. He was the best teacher I ever had. Not the best, but one of the best. And another teacher was Mrs. Cassover, because they were teachers that really cared and took their time working with you. I have dyslexia, like Tom Cruise had dyslexia. It's a reading learning disorder. Sometimes you see backwards, sometimes you see numbers or letters scrambled up. And they skilled me for life on how to deal with it and how to manage daily life with it. So, but yeah, Mr. Farrer really, at first I hated him. I hated him in the beginning of sixth grade. He ended up, I visited him up until I was 17. I used to knock on his door because he lived in my town, and him and his wife would let me in their house. And, he was very sick by the time I was 17, and I was very sad. I'm sure he's passed away now, God bless his soul, because he was up in age back then, but he was a really good teacher. And I visited at the school that I had in, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. I had, Mrs. Cassover, and she helped me a great lot. And I used to visit her until she retired. So yeah, they really, because of them, I could read, write, and count. Like give change. Because I really was slid through school, but we're not going to get through that, tonight. That's another story. Number 7, funniest memories in school. Guys, I really was not a great kid when I was little. I really was a nut, okay? I took a piece of my hair, like that much, and I clipped it off with the scissors when the teacher and the kids were going to the lunch line at lunchtime. And speaking of history and social studies, I showed my girlfriends, I said, I'm going to put it on this guy's picture like a mustache in the book. And the teacher like freaked out when we came back from lunch, and she insisted that somebody tells. And I know she knew it was me. And my girlfriend told on me because my girlfriend was scared of the teacher. And I got in trouble. I had to stay after school. But yeah, that was one of the silly things I did. Um, Number 8, monkey bars or slide. I like both. I did a lot of things on the high bars, on the jungle gym, and flips upside down, backwards. The wonder why I have a bad back today. I used to twirl and do a lot on the monkey bars. Um, and I went on the slide constantly too. I like both. Okay, so number 9. Did you ever skip school? Absolutely, I did. I would skip school in the school building. I would go to the girls' bathroom, especially in junior high, middle school. My day, they called it junior high. And in high school, I'd sit there and freshen up my makeup. I'd smoke a cigarette, And then when I was little, I just, didn't get out of bed. I didn't go. I gave my granddad a hard time. I did not like school, guys. I wish, like, I always regretted not liking it, but I just didn't like, I thought it was boring. I thought it, other than your friends, I thought it was horrible and boring. I just didn't like it. Number 10, Friday night football games. I wasn't, I became more interested, honestly, in football in my adult life once I hit like my late 20s and early 30s. Um, I didn't really go to the football games, but I'd go to like the bonfire and the bonfire dance and, stuff like that. I used to go to, but not the games. And I kind of regret not doing that. I would hang out, but I wasn't hanging out watching the game. We were hanging out and just, we were across the street from the gang and just being, kids and, whatever. But I probably would have had more fun if I went and actually saw the game. Because I ended up liking, like I said, football later as I got into my late 20s, early 30s. So that's our tag, guys. And thank you for watching. And we will be right back with a box opening. See you soon. God bless you all. Bye-bye now. Hope to fix this lighting. Bye-bye.